Good morning, everyone, and happy Saturday. I'm here with Emi Howe. We were lucky enough to have her yesterday and talk about her children's book, but today I want to talk about her adult book because I think it's really, really important. I've ordered my copy. As some of you will know, Emi is a TEDx speaker, and that's how I've known Emi, and how I've known her grow as well in confidence in delivering that mission. And I really do feel like it's a mission for you, Emi, and I'm one of those people will absolutely champion you because your message is so positive for kids, which we talked about yesterday. But for me, I think as adults, we need to do this. As women, I think we need to do this more. But, you know, everybody, absolutely everybody. So welcome to Parent Corner, Emi. Tell us about your adult book. I have ordered it, by the way, but it's not arrived ready. So as soon as I get mine, I'll be winging its way to get it signed by Emi. So tell us about your book. Tell us a little bit about the adult book.
Yeah, well, The Body Hoax, here it is.
Yee-hee.
The Body Hoax, and its subtitle is How to Stop Believing in Fantasy Bodies. And I think that's a conversation that we don't have, isn't it, really? It's a conversation, as soon as you say how to stop believing in fantasy bodies, to me it does, it clicks something in my brain that goes, oh yeah, I believe in fantasy bodies.
Yeah, absolutely.
What I'm hoping is that even the title of the book can help people. Because we don't talk about the fact that we live in these two different worlds, do we? We don't talk often enough, anyway, about the fact that we live in a real world where all, you know, bodies come in all different shapes and sizes, and then we live in this fantasy world where, you know, we're expected to, you know, achieve an impossible standard of body. It's just no one can reach it. We're not photoshopped. We're not airbrushed. We don't all have the same body frame, shape, type, build, so it's totally normal and natural for us all to be different. So that's kind of the meaning behind it. So it's written as part memoir, but then also as a bit of a statement piece in terms of what we can do differently. Because I think when we talked about the children's book, about how the conversations and the comments and even the thoughts that we have around our bodies can feel very natural and normal, and we don't always recognize them as being quite toxic, and actually could be quite damaging and might be holding us back in many ways. You know, buying into this fantasy idea of bodies where our bodies aren't right if they're not the ideal body, you know, can stop us from all kinds of different things and can hold us back from, I mean, the one that we hear most about is movement, is that people, you know, especially women, This Girl Can campaign is fantastic for this, but
yeah, it is.
It's about, you know, hearing from women who don't feel confident to go out and move their bodies in joyful ways because they feel like they don't have the right type of body to do that. And that's just a real shame. But I mean, even down to, you know, when you're on holiday, you know, it's such an unusual scenario to be in when you get down by the pool or on the beach and suddenly you're in just your underwear with lots of strangers around you. It's not the most relaxing situation to be in. And I don't know about anyone else, but like, you know, you can be kind of wrangling with all of these thoughts of, oh, I should have done this, or maybe I should have done that, or look at her, or look at him, or So it deals with all of that. It deals with all of our kind of the things we think about our bodies, but we don't always say, put it that way.
Yeah, and I think what I love about this book, because I've read the first chapter, even though I've not got it yet because I read the first chapter on Amazon. But what I like about this book is that it tells your story and why you've kind of how you've got here talking about. I know your background is sociology. I know you've done that and stuff, and I know you've obviously always had that kind of interest. But your background story is kind of, I guess, I don't know. I'll ask you, has it led to you seeing your body very differently?
Absolutely, it has. So my background story is I'm a cancer survivor of 9 years, nearly 10 years coming up. So my body has been through some stuff.
I'd say.
Yeah, I guess what it shows me is it just keeps coming back. It just keeps supporting me, and I haven't always supported it. But what fascinates me is how you can just lie down and go to sleep and your body's better when you wake up, or incrementally, improved. It's kind of gathered. If you've had operations or surgery or whatever, it kind of just gathers itself back together. I'm like, I'll fix you for you. I'm going to put you back together. And it's been phenomenal to watch. It's just like, wow, you just keep showing up for me. Time again. I keep, overworking you, and you just, keep coming back and supporting me. So, yeah.
And I think it's funny you mentioned the beach, because I see now, we had a discussion off air about the different covers of your book, and that one that you've got is amazing because it's you jumping for joy, it's absolutely fantastic. But there's lots of different covers that you've done for it. But for me, it feels like that the kind of book that you want to take away with you and, sat on an English beach, probably most of us in the next summer, but, yeah, or in a tent or whatever, but a book that you want to take away and you're going to be gripped by the beginning bit. You're going to be absolutely gripped by Emi's story and how, for me, it's about, it feels like not only this gripping story that you've got to share and you've got to tell, but kind of the second bit is all around us, you kind of telling us how we can champion our own body and how we can, feel better about ourselves instead of carrying this big weight around, this baggage that we carry around with, I don't look good enough in this, I'm too heavy, or my hair doesn't look good, or whatever. But the second kind of part of the book feels like where we get the actual practical tools how to champion our own body. Like you say, our body shows up for us every day and we're just nothing but bloody mean to it. Let's be honest, we are mean to our bodies. Would that be kind of the right kind of, I guess, a little review? Would that be right in how the book is set out? Is that what you set out to do?
It is. And I think what the last few years have given me, I'm my degree was in sociology. I kind of studied the media as my dissertation. There's lots of different kind of paths that my life has taken to bring me a lot of information. So it looks at the history of body image. It looks at the way that the world is packaged that makes us feel this way. And once you have that information, once you understand where it's come from and why, and let me just say it's highly linked to the commercial world, you can start to unpick it and then start to develop a very personal relationship with your body, rather than it being a kind of a conversation for everyone. You can start to actually look at your own body and look at your own relationship with your body. As you just said, we are awful to our bodies. We would speak to no one the way that we speak to our bodies. So how do we expect to have a good relationship with it if all that we do is basically criticize it? So it talks about the different ways that we can start, teasing out some kind of just better outcomes from the way that we interact with it, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. And I think for me, any kind of therapy that I do, adults or kids, once stuff comes into their awareness, that's when they can do something about it. And I feel like you telling us, because I don't think we're always aware of the impact that media and social media have on us. So once it comes into our awareness, we can absolutely do something about it. So that's, for me, it's so important, so important. And I think it's one of those, I know, so I've got a 13-year-old girl, and I know that if she felt that she was being hoodwinked by media, she'd be really cross. And I can't wait to like finish, to get the actual physical book so I can finish reading it. But but also I want her to read it, because I think it's important that she's aware of, you know, there's no accident that big commercial companies are doing the media, doing their advertising in the way that they do. You know, they put on skinny models, and I'm not shaming them for that. That's their body size, but they do that so that we'll buy a product because we want to look like them, you know, rather than this is just a product for you. And I think that's what's so great about, say, the Dove campaign or Marks and Spencer's campaign, because I know you was involved in the M&S laundry campaign, wasn't you? Was that exciting to do, Emi? Was that really scary, or a bit of both?
It was totally thrilling. You know, it was the most glamorous thing ever. It was wonderful. We had a great time. We did have a great time. And it's like anything, like the creation, I love the creative process. But then once it's launched out into the world, it just feels a bit like, oh! I was sort of 8 foot tall in every high street in the country, in the window of Marks and Spencer's, in just my underwear. So it is a little bit exposing. But again, that it gave me a really amazing experience, and it was such a phenomenally diverse campaign. I was so proud to be a part of it. So it was a bit scary. You know, the aftermath was a bit scary when everyone can see it, is seeing it, is having their photograph taken with it, sending you the pictures of the photograph, and I guess a bit tiring. Not tiring. That's not right. It's exciting, but yeah, I suppose being excited about a product, or even with the book, for any length of time, it's quite it takes a bit out of you.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I think the thing is, unless we're having these conversations, big companies like M&S and Dove and and that kind of stuff, they're not going to veer from the norm, and us having a reaction to those, what I call normal marketing campaigns, where we can see, I'm all about representation. I think it's important that, particularly for kids, they see different body sizes, different shapes, different colors, different creeds up there, so they can say, I see me, and then be able to strive for that. And so I think unless we have these very important conversations, we're not going to, we're not going to have them take notice, and they are just going to put up whatever they think is going to sell.
And I think as well, there is that element of it, and there is an element of, they need to do better. But equally, like us, they probably don't some of them will, but many people are following a blueprint of what advertising is and what it has been, let's face it, for all of our lifetimes. This is how you advertise things. You use a thin person, and that's ads. That's just how it works. It hasn't been questioned enough. It hasn't been challenged enough. It hasn't, there are fantastic kind of statistics around when you do use a diverse, campaign, that it has fantastic results on the bottom line. But people are scared. People are stuck in doing the thing that it's always doing it the way that it's always been done, and just almost like falling into that kind of trap of not being able to see anything else, almost like an echo chamber. But equally, and one of the most important things is, it's not inclusive. It's not. And we live in a world that now really cares about inclusion. The world is becoming so much more tolerant and so much more, demanding of diversity, that it's, I mean, to me, it just looks like a snail's pace. The change is so small and so so ready for something new. I'm so ready to see something new. I watch adverts now, and I really kind of cringe through them. I have to just kind of either fast forward them or just, I don't want to know how I'm failing in many ways.
No, I did psychology at uni, and my best friend, Sand, she did, so this is 25 years ago, And she went through adverts and recorded all the adverts and noticed how many times there was negative body images up there. That was 25 years ago, and I don't really feel much has changed. Yes, we've got some who will do the odd campaign like M&S, like Dove, and others, is it, I don't know if it's Dove at the moment doing one as well. I always see it on Grey's Anatomy, before Grey's Anatomy.
Yes, I do too.
But yeah, but there's only, they're the exception, and what we want is for that to be the rule, don't we? And I think the more that we have those conversations, the more that, hopefully that will happen. And that representation for our kids, and I think especially after lockdown, I think it feels like the world needs a shift. We need that change, and
it's an opportunity.
Yeah, and it absolutely is. But it's so lovely to see you so passionate about your mission and champion that. And I, I'm a big fan anyway, Emi. And what I want to say is just, please watch Emi's talk. If you haven't got a ticket for TEDx, get your ticket. It's next Friday night. It will be live streamed. Emi's already recorded her talk. She's done that because we have to do that for COVID safety. But on Friday night, we are live at the Grange Theatre in Hertford, where we will have the beautiful Catherine Stanland, Catherine, hosting for us. And if you're at the live event, if you get your ticket, you can enjoy us from the comfort of your own home, have a little glass of something nice, have some nibbles, and you can chat along live with us. And that's what I'll be doing. I'll be taking everybody's messages. So please get your tickets, come and see Emi's talk. This is like, what she's saying to us today is a mere snapshot of that, and it's just beautiful. How long is your talk, Emi? Is it about, I can't remember, it's about 10 minutes. Yeah. It's literally 10 minutes, but every single word that she says, every sentence is gold dust, and it's a real heartwarming message, I think, as well. And for me, it's really important that my kids see this message. I want them to have that. We've got some fantastic speakers, but it's important for me that Emi, that my kids hear Emi, because I want them to hear this positive message. So, what's your plans for Friday night, Emi? How are you watching the actual live event?
I really want my kids to see it. Because I mean, they know it. They've heard hundreds of
they
times.
Probably know it. Yeah.
But I wear a specific T-shirt for the TEDx, don't I? And ever since
you do, and trainers, don't forget the trainers.
And trainers, so yeah, it's important to get it for that purpose. But my daughter, bless her, is at 11, has basically not had the T-shirt off. She commandeered it for herself when I got home. Brilliant. And did that now. So I take that as a subtle kind of feeling of a bit of pride, maybe, that I've done this. So I'm really keen for my kids to see it, and we'll be in the lounge and a couple of drinks. Really looking forward to it, and I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody's talk. It's been so bizarre because I've seen everybody else's talk, obviously in rehearsal, but I'm really, really excited to see them on the night because I know what fabulous subjects they all cover. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it all.
Yeah, no, it is going to be amazing. And I think the thing is as well, we talked about representation and stuff, but I took my kids to my TEDx talk and they were in the front table, and I felt like it was really important because it's a big scary thing and it's hard to do. It's not easy. I mean, anybody who thinks, oh, you just get up and talk, it doesn't work that way. It is a really difficult process, and I wanted them to know that they could do this too. They absolutely could do this, and so I think it's lovely that your kids are going to watch yours and also have that celebration with you afterwards as well. So thank you for joining us, Emi. We'll drop all your links to the book. Give us a wave of the book just one more time. And so we'll drop links for Emi's website as well, so you can order the book there. And please try and order it from Emi's website rather than that other big company that I've ordered from. Please order from Emi's website. It's important that we get behind, because it's such an important message, not just for our kids but for us as well, and particularly I think for me, as a woman, to actually bring this subject into awareness and make me more aware of being kind to myself and my body, because it does take us, like you say, it takes us through a lot. So thanks very much, Emi. Good luck for Friday.
Thank you. Thank you for everything, Ashley. You've just been wonderful throughout TEDx, and thank you for today as well.
You're welcome. Take care, and good luck for Friday.
Thank you.
Bye.